In this video, I'm going to teach you a little bit about how you can get your Windows computer ready to study AI, data science, machine learning, and programming. Some of the steps that I'll show you now are some of the easiest things you can do that will make your learning journey easier and more efficient. The first thing I want to show you is that if you look over there on that portion of the desktop, you're going to see just 3 icons. However, to make your computer more easy to navigate, we can add more icons there. We're going to do that by taking our mouse and then just right-clicking anywhere on this desktop space. Go to the New item, and then we go to Shortcut. Once I click on Shortcut, you're going to get a dialog box a lot like this one. I want you to choose the Browse button here. When you choose the Browse button here, I want you to expand the tree for this PC and look for an option that resembles this. It'll be hard drive, or it'll say computer hard drive, or it'll say this computer. And it might also have, instead of D:, it might have C: here. But that is the icon we want to add to our desktop. We're going to click on that and then click OK, and then next again, and then there we have our computer. We'll just move that over here for now. The next item I recommend you add is a shortcut to your Documents folder. So click on that. Once again, come on back here, click Browse, then choose your username, expand that, and then choose Documents here. Click OK, and then click Next, and then click Finish. And now you have a shortcut link to your Documents folder. That'll be very useful. One more icon we're going to add here. Again, grab this menu back, then go to Shortcut, click Browse, and then just click your username. This is going to be a shortcut to your home directory. Let me show you what that gives you in just a moment. Once I add that to the desktop here and then put this over here, I can open up my home folder, and now I have access to contacts, desktop, downloads, favorites, music, pictures, videos, and a variety of other resources that may be very useful to you. The next item I want you to do is to set things up so that you'll be able to see hidden files and folders on your computer. When you're programming, you're going to want to be able to see those hidden files because often in the programming process, it is important to be able to access them, view them, manipulate them, edit them, and revise them. By default, Windows, most computers in general, are going to hide these from most users because most users don't need access to them. So to do that, we're going to open up the computer hard drive that we just added to our desktop. Then we're going to browse to the View menu. Once we have the View menu, then we're going to go over to the Options subcomponent of this menu. And now that we have the Options subcomponent, we want the View tab. And the setting we want to change here is Show Hidden Files, Folders, and Drives. Turn that on and click Apply. This is going to be very helpful to you because as you're browsing around your File Explorer, that'll be very useful. The next item I want you to click here is Display the Full Path in the title bar. When I click that, that's going to change generally across your computer the information seen here. It's going to display the full path and location of your working location within the Explorer. You're also going to see your full location here as well. I'll show you a little bit about how that changes the way things look in just a moment. One more thing before we exit here, I want you to apply this to folders. Click this button and then say yes. That's going to make your settings more global. Then click OK. And now we can take a look at how the changes we've made affects our environment. I'll close this window and then I will open this again. And when I do that, I'm going to just navigate from this PC to users and then to my username. And notice as how I navigate through the computer, we see the expanding directory path showing up here in the title bar. Very useful, so it helps you understand where you are on your computer. The next item I'll click here is Desktop, and once again, we see that the desktop is actually a subfolder or subdirectory of the username. And that directory is a subdirectory of a user's directory which exists on the root. In this case, we have D: as our root drive. Let me show you just a little bit more about how this works. If I right-click in here, because I'm currently in the desktop within this Explorer window, I'll right-click here, click New, and then I'll say Text Document. Now I have the opportunity to name that text document, and I'm just going to call this temp for temporary file. And you can see how I created this file here. It is also showing up here. Very useful to understand that when you create a folder or a file in a given directory, such as the desktop, that folder is also going to show up in other ways. Notice how this is a temp text file and it doesn't actually show the .txt extension that you might be already familiar with and that you might already expect to show up at the end of a file. Those file extensions help us as programmers understand what the nature of that file is. Let's change our settings again so we can see those extensions. To do that, you might have guessed it, we'll go back to the View menu, we'll choose Options, and then we're also going to, in the View tab, uncheck Hide Empty Drives, uncheck Hide Extensions for Known File Types, and uncheck Hide Folder Merge Conflicts. As you scroll down, you're going to see a variety of other settings that you can pretty much leave as is until you get to the very bottom. I recommend that you check Show Libraries, check Show All Folders, check Expand to Open Folder, and check Always Show Availability Status. After that, click Apply, then click Apply to All Folders, tell it yes, then click OK, and now you have a much more complete view of your computer as you browse around. Remember how when we were on the computer hard drive and all we saw was the subfolder users? Let's go back there now. Once we go back there now, we see more information about our computer. This gives us a more complete understanding of our full environment. And as experts in data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and also the accompanying skill of computer programming, it is important to be able to see that added information. For Windows users, I also want you to make sure that you can find the PowerShell. It's very important that you have it installed and that you can find it. Most computers are automatically going to have the Windows PowerShell installed. If not, you can install the Windows PowerShell from the Microsoft Store. Now here, I'm showing the PowerShell software available via the Microsoft Store in the Firefox browser. To find the Microsoft PowerShell, all you have to do is go down to your search on the lower right here and type PowerShell, all one word, and the first response here should be Windows PowerShell. Make sure that you have access to the Windows PowerShell. Here we have that now, and the Windows PowerShell is nothing more than a way for you to interact with your computer via the command line. Other videos will talk more extensively about how to use the PowerShell, but it's important to make sure that you have access to your PowerShell. To make the PowerShell even more convenient, I recommend once again, going to the PowerShell search and then right-clicking on PowerShell and then pinning that to your taskbar. Once you've pinned PowerShell to your taskbar, you're easily going to be able to access PowerShell here with a very simple click. The final thing I want you to do to get your Windows computer ready for data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and computer programming is go to anaconda.org and install the Anaconda distribution of Python. In order to do that, go to anaconda.org, find the Download Anaconda link, click on that, and then choose the download most appropriate for your computer. After, of course, you enter your email address. And now here you can see I've entered my email address and I have the option to download the Anaconda distribution in a variety of formats. For Windows PC users, of course, you're going to choose the most recent version of Windows over here on the left. Install that, double-click the installer, follow the on-screen instructions, and you will have access to all of the tools, or at least a great majority of the tools that you're going to need in order to begin and move through this data science, AI, machine learning, and programming learning journey. A final word of caution is you might research this on your own, and you might find that it's possible to install Python from other sources, including python.org. You might also see the option to install something called Anaconda. I advise against that and strongly recommend go directly to the Anaconda distribution. It's going to give you, once again, the tools that you need for this more advanced learning journey. In other words, this Anaconda distribution is going to bundle a variety of other programs, other libraries, and other features beyond just the base Python. So skip the Python installation from python.org, skip the Anaconda installation, and go directly to the full Anaconda distribution that I've shown you here. Thanks so much. Hope you learned something. Hope you had at least a little bit of fun, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. Don't forget, you're more ready than you think you are. Hit subscribe, check out these other videos, and let's connect. I look forward to being in touch.